The AI bubble is finally crashing. One company after another is losing billions of dollars. And in total, the AI companies have recently lost over $1 trillion. So what has been growing tremendously really fast is now coming down. Look at these stocks. AMD, which is one of the most popular AI companies out there, has lost 14% of its value. That is literally tens of billions of dollars. Now remember, there are people who literally paid that much money for this stock and now they have lost money. If you check them individually, they might not have lost a lot of money, but overall, that's like billions of dollars of transfer of wealth from one group of people to another. Now let's take another stock. Let's look at Oracle. Oracle have lost almost 14% of its value. Now, what is really interesting and funny about Oracle is that I invested in Oracle back when the stock was $157, and I posted that on the Investing Academy, and literally right before the Oracle stock has collapsed, I sold my stocks at around $237. Again, I posted all of that on the Investing Academy. I'm not coming out with this because all of that is well documented on the Investing Academy, because whenever I make trades, whenever I buy stocks, I sell stocks, I instantly post them on the Investing Academy. But the biggest loser so far of the AI bubble has been Broadcom.com. It lost 20% of its value. And it's really strange because this is by far one of the greatest companies on earth right now. They make more money than anyone else. So a lot of people are looking at this and they don't understand what exactly is happening. Why do we have some of the most profitable companies that ever existed are losing so much money? There is the reality that is actually happening, which I will explain later in this video. And then there is the story they want you to believe. So the story they're trying to force you to believe is that AI is getting a reality check. Sam Altman says that AI jobs apocalypse he has once predicted probably won't happen. So here's the question, what exactly has happened? So if we go back to his previous statements, he stated that the entire job categories will be totally gone. So AI will basically evaporate some kind of jobs that we have, such as law firms or accounting firms. And honestly, as the person who uses AI a lot, I use Cloud, ChatGPT, Grok, you name it, literally every single AI that's out there. And I can tell you for a fact, they're really good. They can do a lot of things much better than humans do, but they also tend to make a lot of mistakes. And because there is no consciousness behind it, sometimes they make such horrible mistakes that they can cost you literally a lot of money. And if you are a huge law firm or an accounting firm, that small little mistake can cost you a lot of money. So you can't just entirely delegate that to AI. You need somebody like a human who is going to double verify all of that just to ensure that you got the numbers right. And we have reports from some companies such as Starbucks that initially started using AI in order to trim jobs now realize that no, we can't possibly use this AI. Yes, it seems really cool. They can do stuff sometimes really good. But if you don't have a real human who's going to verify all of that, there is no way we can basically replace these jobs. So they got rid of all of that AI and now they're doing that manually. And Starbucks is just one example. And that's what the CEO of ChatGPT or OpenAI is trying to tell us. I don't think we are going to have the kind of jobs apocalypse that some of the companies in our space advocated or talked about. Well, this was you who actually told us that AI is going to replace all the jobs in the world. And then you're trying to say that, well, somebody in the industry said that. Well, they don't want to actually take the blame for that. But here's what is actually happening. The reality is that prices today in the stock market are factoring in all future growth. Long-term forecasts change, prices change. So when you look at the stock market, it's growing like there is no tomorrow. And some people are wondering why exactly the stocks are growing so fast. I mean, if you look at the real valuation and you compare them to the real stock prices, it makes no sense or whatsoever. And here's what a lot of people or a lot of immature investors don't understand about the stock market. What Wall Street and what the market usually does is that when they look at the company and they look at the best possible forecast. So let's assume that this business is going to generate $1 trillion, let's say 20 years later. What Wall Street is going to do is that they will price that stock or that company in the stock market as if it already made that $1 trillion. And then in the next quarter, if the forecast will not be adjusted, that the company now will generate $1.5 trillion, what do you think Wall Street is instantly going to do? Wall Street will instantly sell that stock because now our forecasts are not growing as fast as they did in the past. Because the moment you factor in all other factors and the risks with the company making that $1 trillion in the next 10 to 20 years, there are risks. And if you factor in these risks, suddenly your valuation instantly goes down. So when you see the stock prices growing dramatically fast, you have to understand that Wall Street has already factored in the best possible case for that stock. Now, the same thing right now is happening with the SpaceX IPO. Now, SpaceX right now, last year probably made like $20 billion, and now they want a valuation of $2 trillion. Well, that $2 trillion valuation only makes sense when SpaceX is going to achieve its full potential and will be generating like $400 billion or $500 billion. But here's the question. How long it's going to take the company to generate that much money? That might actually happen sometime in the future, but why would you as an investor going to pay so much money for the stock today? So if the forecasts are not raised but are reiterated, that means that there is no more room to grow. And if you factor in all the possible risks, then those profits are going to plummet, which means that your valuation is going to go down. And that's exactly what happened with Broadcom. So Broadcom lost about 20% of its valuation. At its peak, it was traded at around $481. And this is what most investors don't actually understand. So if you look at the revenue projections for the Q2 for the company has generated $22.2 billion. But Wall Street was expecting the company to make $22 billion. When you beat Wall Street's expectations, in theory, your stock's supposed to rise because they expected you to make this much money, but you made this much money. Now there should be more hype around your stock. Even if you look at the EPS, though the expected EPS is supposed to be $2.39 by Wall Street, but the real EPS was $2.44, which again means that the company is doing far better than Wall Street is expecting you. And when you look at the free cash flow margin, that's 60%, this is by far the best business that you can possibly invest in. But here's the reality is that, but when we look at the long-term growth prospects of Broadcom.com, if we expected the company to make $100 billion, and now we beat analyst expectations, and we don't raise our forecast now to $150 billion, and we still remain on that $100 billion, they no longer can factor in much higher growth and justify that stock price. They will instantly start selling that stock. That's why when it comes to these kind of hyped stocks, you constantly have to adjust your forecast and forecast much higher growth. But the problem is that if you forecast really high growth, but you cannot possibly back it with something real, what is going to happen is that you're going to lose your credibility and everybody will massively start selling your stocks. So either way, you're actually losing. And the problem is that because the entire AI is just one huge supply chain, let's say for Broadcom, we are not going to raise our forecast about its future potentials. Suddenly, we have to adjust our forecast for the entire industry because this is one huge supply chain. Broadcom designs the chips and then sends them to TSMC. Now that means that we have to adjust our long-term forecast growth for TSMC. Now, if TSMC is going to make less chips, that means that Amazon, Microsoft, Google are also going to get less chips. And if that's going to happen, suddenly they will be building a lot less data centers, which means that now there will be less demand for these data centers. That means that Google's Gemini, Open's ChatGPT and Anthropic's Cloud, now they will be growing slower, which means that just the entire industry will make a lot less money. Now, what people don't realize is that on one side, there is this AI revolution that is taking place, and it's a real revolution. They're building real technology. Now, you might not like that technology. You might hate that technology. You might think that technology has no future whatsoever, but that technology is actually being built. Now, on the other side, there is the financial side of it, and the financial side of it isn't actually as clean as people actually imagine, because the financial side of it is basically turning into the biggest wealth transfer of all time. Like every single day, billions of dollars are being transferred from one group of people to another. Now, the first group of people are the ignorant people who don't understand valuations. So when they look at the stock price and the price is rising and they go, oh, I gotta buy this stock because I'm gonna make a lot of money. And the stock has reached its peak. But what Wall Street basically does is that they will take the latest forecast, they will factor into the stock, and they will justify that high stock price. The moment they realize that the forecasts are not rising like they were in the past, they will instantly sell their stocks, while the people who bought these stocks will be the biggest losers. But if you were the person who knew how to find valuations, if you know how to know what is the true value of the stocks, you're not going to be a victim of these hypes. You know at which price it makes sense to buy the stocks and at which price it makes sense to sell the stocks, and at which price you know that this stock is insanely overvalued. Let me give you an example. So I bought Oracle about a few months ago at $157, and I posted that on the Investing Academy. The moment it reached around $230, $240, I realized that it's time to sell, because by looking at the true valuation of the stock, I know that it's insanely overvalued, and it's a matter of time before Wall Street will start dumping the stock, which is exactly what happened. I sold my stocks, the Oracle stock has actually plummeted dramatically, and now the price is around $210. And I can't tell you for a fact that Oracle stocks will plummet further to less than $200. It might not happen tomorrow, it might not happen in the next 2 weeks, but certainly in the next couple of months it's going to happen. I know that because business doesn't move as fast as the stock market. If you want to build something real, it's going to take you time. If you want to build the data centers, you can't just build that overnight. You gotta design these computer chips, you gotta order them, you gotta make the money, you gotta find the money from somewhere, you're gonna sell them to the clients, you gotta find these clients. But when it comes to the stock market, things can just change instantly overnight, and the stock can lose trillions of dollars of their valuation in overnight. So if you want to learn how to find these valuations, if you want to know at which price it makes sense to buy certain stocks and at which price you have to sell the stocks, then check out the Investing Academy. The link is in the description of this video.